Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now, let's start with the first story. It's called Super User Privileges. I worked at this company as a software developer. As it was a relatively small business at the time, all the developers took turns being on call for dealing with issues with our production side. People who were part of this rotation could get notified of a problem any time of day or night. They were given super user privileges to configure and manage our production systems so that they could have the ability to address any problems that arose. Among these super user utilities was something that allowed us to re-execute all or part of our overnight reporting runs. This could be used for testing, overriding the recipient with an internal address so only we would get the reports, or to send corrected reports after an error. Originally, these tools were available to any employee, but we quickly changed that when we had people messing around with the controls without understanding what they were doing and accidentally sending our customers duplicate reports. When access to these tools was taken away, some folks, mostly in sales, would ask us to run certain reports for them. Usually we were fine with this, as long as they were reasonably respectful of our time. One sales guy, however, decided he couldn't wait for us to have time to do his tasks and wanted direct access to these tools. Knowing that our bosses wouldn't give him access, he started directly pestering developers to grant him super user privileges. We tell him no, but he'd just come back and keep asking, thinking that at some point somebody would give in. When he came around to me, I decided to take a different approach. I told him that I certainly could make the required changes to give him access to these tools. He looked pleased. Then I told him that I'd just have to add him to the rotation. When he asked what that meant, I explained that because these privileges were so powerful, they came with responsibility, and that everyone who had them was part of the system monitoring rotation. So, if the production system goes down at 3 AM for example, I said, you'd receive alerts on your phone so that you could help with resolving them. This was ridiculous, as he didn't have any of the required skills, but the part about being woken up at 3 AM was what grabbed his attention. He looked like he'd been smacked in the face, but he tried to be casual, saying that on second thought, maybe he could get along without super user rights. He never bothered any of us about it again. The next story is called Members Only. A while back, I worked for a country club. Occasionally, we would have a tournament where people would come play a few holes at night. We also had other activities as well. Not only was it fun, but due to the abnormal hours, the tips were usually above average, so I tried to work on these events when they came up. Another plus side was, if you worked this party, you automatically got to come in later and were not scheduled for the morning shift. This time, when the party was around, we have some renovations going on. Due to this party being outside, we have to carry the things we need outside. However, no one thought of this, and the double bay doors we normally use were no longer available. They put pallets of concrete and old tile in front of them, not a fire escape door. Due to this, now we had to carry whatever we needed down the hall, use the elevator, and then go down a makeshift ramp that led to the basement, so we could go out the golf cart bay doors. This not only disrupted the kitchen staff, but also disrupted the cart jockeys. If we were almost at the end of the tunnel leading outside and a cart jockey was trying to bring in a cart, he had to wait, and vice versa. The same thing went on when we used the kitchen elevator and walkway. We started getting ready for the party around 6. We would take the needed items over to the shelter and store them there until it was closer to the start time. It took a lot of time due to the complexity of rolling huge tables around the entire country club, especially the elevator. Some of our tables were so big we had to shove the light fixtures up a little bit to get them to fit. Around 9 we were getting the last of the supplies when my coworker, Steve, had a bright idea. It's been dark for about 45 minutes. Let's go out the front door. Since it is on the same level as our storage, we have no elevator or small hallways to worry about. Well, we take one load out, load it in the cart, take the second load out and load it in the cart. No problem. Right as we were loading the third and final load, our planning captain comes rushing over. No. that door is for members only. You cannot use it to load that stuff. Sorry, we figured that since no one had been golfing in the past hour, it was fine. Well, it is not okay, and if I see anyone use this door for anything else, you will face disciplinary actions. You cannot use this door unless you are a member. We both proceeded to take the rest of the load out the more difficult way, and then carry it all the way around the back to where our cart was waiting with the 2 other loads. We drive off to the event and start getting set up as it will begin soon. What we discovered later on is that no one told the last cart jockey that none of us had a key to unlock the door or to lock it when we leave. So naturally we tried all the usual doors we can enter in, even the one from the break room for smokers to use. Nada. Steven says hold on, I'll be back, runs to the front, and lo and behold, one of the doors to the front was unlocked. Too bad it is for members only, and none of us are members. The 5 of us decide it's worth the extra time to be petty, so Steven calls the banquet coordinator, our boss, and lets her know. After much discussion, she realizes we can't leave it at the shelter, as it will most likely ruin our chairs and some of the wooden tables, as well as the decorations we have. She has to come in. By the time we are finished, it is almost 4:30. It was a lot faster with no kitchen personnel or cart jockeys, but still took a while, especially with the added time it took her to get there. Well, guess who showed up at 4:30? Our general manager. And he used the front door that we found was unlocked. He saw our boss and asked why she was here so early. She replied that we were locked out, so she had to come let us in. Then he asked her why we didn't just use the front doors, since they were wide enough and unlockable from the inside, unlike the cart doors. This brought a hellstorm of rage upon the 5 of us. She came speedwalking in her heels, looking like she wanted to turn us to stone like Medusa. 5 of you, and no one tried the freaking front door? Really? Why the heck did no one check the bloody front doors before calling me? Out of nowhere, here comes Steven. You said we couldn't use that door, or we would face disciplinary actions. If looks could kill. She glared at him, then her eyes glazed over. She turned around and went to go get ready for her shift. There was never another word about it, but we all laughed about it for a few weeks. The next time we had an event outside, the restorations were complete, so we just used our normal doors to go out. And if you wonder, the property is on a big slope and dug out, so what is the first floor on one side is the basement on the other. The last story is called Case Closed. I was injured at work. Ambulance, hospital, doctors, inpatient therapy, outpatient therapy. Everything was excellent, first class. The insurance did not cut corners. During hospitalization, some small nerve damage was found. I was told it could last for years or fix itself. The immediate solution was a pill. It's used for treatment of mild Parkinson's. 1 a day if needed. It worked well. During my 8 months of therapy, I used about 15 to 20 pills a month. Physical therapy was completed and I returned to work. The pills were prescribed at a frequency greater than my use, but the pharmacy would call on schedule to pick up more. At one point, I realized they had not called, so I called. The prescription was expired, I was told. I still had plenty of unused pills, so not in a rush for me, but I contacted the insurance company. I was told, case closed. I argued that this was part of the original diagnosis and might continue for years. Case closed was the response. I offered to pay for the pills, but needed the script from the doctor to get more. I was told that all I could do was reopen the claim. Okay, thank you. How do I do that? Call a lawyer, they said. I had been treated very well by this insurance company up to this point, without litigation. But okay. They ended up having to pay $84,000 plus their legal fees. The pills were 34 cents each, $81 a year. All I wanted were the pills. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.